All right, everyone, welcome back to another video on the beta world. I have absolutely been loving playing this version lately, and we've got some new build requests. Did I say that right? Build requests, there you go. One of the main things about this series and what makes it so fun is that you guys suggest what I build in the next episode. So leave your comments below for build ideas, and you have a chance of getting it built in the next episode. But I will put a little asterisk next to that because sometimes there may be things that I need to build, and today we're going to do one of that, but we're also going to incorporate one of your guys' builds as well. So I need to build a storage unit today as I am running out of space, but someone suggested that I build like a tree grove of sorts, and kind of, I guess, a mix between a tree grove and garden, which I think is a really cool idea. So we're going to do two builds today, and I think we're going to keep them right next to each other. So I'm liking this area over here. I feel like this is a good place to build something, and I won't waste too much of your guys' time rambling at the start. I had somebody else suggest to build something down in this area over here, but I'm planning on, I don't know, I'm kind of torn between turning this area into like a beach or a tree farm. I haven't really decided yet because it's really nice and flat, and yeah, so I'm a little torn on that. But the last thing I wanted to show you before we actually start building today was I did clear out this entire ring. So for those of you who watched the last episode, which was very well received, so thank you very much for that, and welcome to all the new subscribers from that video. I did clear out all the trees from here, so it is no longer a forest area around this ring, and I did that because we need to build on this land, and so I had to clear out all these trees to make things a little bit easier to understand where the land pattern actually is and all that stuff. And so now it is pretty much completely flat. But let's get started today. Today's build is going to be a storage unit and a tree grove / garden thing, which I think should be a lot of fun. So let's get right into it. All right, so for today's build, I believe we are going to be using cobblestone, oak wood, and sandstone for the main building blocks. I haven't decided if I'm going to use sandstone or actual sand because we can get a lot of sand very quickly. So I'm not really sure yet, but sandstone would be a fun block to build with. So I'll see about that in a second. But I don't think it's going to be huge. Like, it's not going to be a massive build. And I think we're going to make the storage unit house and then have the tree grove / garden attached to it somehow. So I think we're going to need to clear out a lot of this land to get started. And I'm obviously going to have to collect a lot of sand because I don't have that much. So I'm probably going to do that for the next 20 minutes or so, and then I will check in. Now, while I'm continuing digging here in the desert, I did have a question for you guys because I wanted to know how you would feel about this if I did this, because I try to stay away from modding in Minecraft because it's just not really my thing. But this isn't really so much modding, but when it comes to wool, like you can see I have the wool in my inventory with the different colors and stuff. We obviously have such a limited block palette when it comes to beta Minecraft. You know, there's just not that many blocks in the game. And I wanted to know how you guys would feel about me maybe redoing some of the wool textures to look like some different blocks in that color. So I would make sure that, you know, if it's a gray block, it would resemble maybe a different type of stone, because I do really like the textures of tuff that they have in the modern versions, and so I kind of wanted to have a block like that in this version, but I wanted to make the textures myself because I am an artist, and so I have a lot of fun doing that stuff. And so I wanted to know what you guys think about that. Is that maybe going a little bit too far or not? I personally don't think it really is, right? As long as they look to similar colors, right? If you guys had the default texture pack on, it wouldn't even look that much different anyway. So I wanted to know what you guys think of that. And, you know, if a lot of you guys approve of that, then I may do it. But obviously, as a viewing experience, if you don't want something like that, then it's important to prioritize the viewers in that sense. So, yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below if you think it's fair game to redo some of the wool textures. I feel like I like this spot right here, very close to our cottage. That way we don't have to walk all that far. And so I think I'm just going to tear out all these trees and then flatten the ground. Flatten the ground out. I'm a little tired. I don't know if you can tell. I turned western there for a second. I flattened the ground out. Well, one of the most important things about building is the land that you're building on. That's why I always spend so much time kind of terraforming the area around where I'm building, and it's why I even picked to build over here in the first place with that ring. But can you believe that this was 20 stacks of dirt? Like, how does the math add up there? So I completely flattened this area out and kind of made our own little man-made cliff here. And I didn't even realize this feature. Like, look at this feature over here. There's just a complete wall right here, which is pretty cool. Lots of potential for building things over there, but no more trees around here. Did that intentionally to give us lots and lots of room to build around here. So I guess I'm just going to get started. I don't really have a plan for what this is going to look like, so I'm kind of just going to wing it. If it's going to have a garden attached, I think I'm going to give it some more space. I think I'm going to put it right up against the back here. Okay, let me show you what's underneath here. Okay, so obviously I just like covered this whole area. And there's just animals and stuff spawning in here like crazy. And there's so many cows. We've got our own accidental cow farm here. Let's see. We got to have space behind us. So I think I'm going to go right here. I don't think it's going to be more than 7 blocks wide. I think it'll only be about 5 blocks wide. So that would be 7, but by 5 blocks I mean the middle piece. And then this is going to be, I think, 7. We'll see here. I'm going to alternate the wood. Kind of like that. And I think I'm going to do this same. I don't really know yet. Okay, I need to figure that out. Kind of looking a little similar to that, but we want everything to kind of have a similar theme here, if you will. Don't want things to be too different. I think it's important to have variation and difference in your builds, but I like to stick to a theme a lot of the time, but not too particular, if you know what I mean. I kind of like to have it a little bit all over the place. Well, the big thing about this build is that its sole purpose is just for storage. So we actually don't need to worry about space that much because the walls are just going to be lined with chests. So this should be fine. I think I'm going to add some sort of tower piece to the side of this. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I think it's going to be like this. Kind of like that. I think I might do the windows in it last because I just don't know where they're going to go. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's kind of hard to judge what the size of the tower needs to be because of the fact that I haven't done the rest of the build yet. So we need to do that first. Well, it didn't turn out terrible. I think it's going to take some adjusting to get used to, but it's not awful. You know, I don't know how I feel about this on the side. We're going to have to do some tweaking here and definitely add some windows to this thing. I'm just not sure how I'm going to go about it yet, but there's a wonderful beta YouTuber by the name of Box Blair who does a lot of cool stuff with beta Minecraft. Highly recommend you guys go and check him out if you enjoy playing these versions. And he made a video recently talking about some levers and how levers are a interesting building block in this version. Now, I'm not going to use the technique that he used in his video because there is a chance it could corrupt your world. And so I'm not really, sure how to go about it yet. But essentially, I'll see if I can maybe put it on the screen or something. Or, it's basically you use a 6-sided piston to transform a lever into a cobblestone wall. Is essentially what the trick is. And so I wanted to get experimental with some levers here because if we look at them, they are quite an interesting building block in this version if you do it correctly, especially because modern Minecraft has that line now, which really ruins the texture, but this doesn't. So I think there's a way we can make this work. And one thing I wanted to try right off the bat was with a fence on top of it. So maybe like a design like this, and we get rid of this block, so now this fence is hanging, and we can put this lever underneath it, and now it's kind of got some sort of hanging thing there, which I think is pretty cool. And you can also do this where you flip it the other direction, and now it's kind of got some detail on the outside of it. So it's a cool way to make some stuff, maybe like a sign or something like that right there, which is interesting. So beta Minecraft is not all that simple. You just got to get creative. You know, I think that's one of the beautiful things about this version. So we really got to use our brain here to make some stuff look interesting. And that's why I've got some more trap doors on me as well. Just making things look a little bit more three-dimensional by adding stuff on the outside. And I don't know, maybe I'll actually line the whole thing like that. Now that I think about it, I quite like that. All right, well, this one is just completely not intuitive to the user. I think it's something like this, or... Oh, there you go. Yeah, what is that recipe right there? Okay, well, that's a strange one. I just wasted some of that making that pressure plate, so we'll just put that in front of the door or something. But there you go. You can't place these on the floor, right? Yeah, but I got some buttons as well, because I love using these in my builds. So maybe do something kind of like that right there. Kind of just line the top half with them. Okay, and I have all these variations of cobblestone right now because I think I am going to line this with just all the different types of blocks. I want the wood to show, though. I don't want to cover that, so I'm just going to do something like that. All right, so I lined the bottom. Just kind of brings it into the environment a lot better, so it's not so harsh on the bottom now. I really actually like how this turned out. I'm a big fan of the trapdoors now. Just a small little change like that makes a huge difference. And so I think the last thing we need to do is just kind of figure out what I'm going to do with this tower thing over here. I really do want to add windows. All right, there you go. Now you can see what I was talking about. Just a little bit easier of a transition from gray to the tan color of the sand. I feel like that looks a lot better. Now the last thing we got to do is the garden area. I don't think I'm going to make it huge because I don't want to take up all this space, but I think I'm just going to make it big enough to where it makes a difference. All right, so the plan is to basically just make a kind of, you know, your standard stone wall with the garden and trees in the middle. So I just got to find a way to do it that's going to look nice. So I think I'm going to use a mixture of all these different types of blocks and just kind of stack them in interesting patterns. All right, so I have a lot of fences now. So I picked up some birch leaves and oak leaves. And if I understand this correctly, Minecraft has, in the beta version, wood has to be connected to the leaf in some way, shape, or form. So I thought you and I could do a test to see how far can it actually go when it's attached to a log? Like, when will it start despawning? So I'm going to place some logs here and just kind of place this in a big line, and we'll see how far we can go before it starts to despawn. Okay, so that looks like it was 5 blocks. And it looks like the 5th block is staying. So this one looks like it's going to go at any point here. So, all right, interesting. So we can go 5 blocks in each direction, like this, I believe, which means I think it works at this angle, like that right there. Okay, no, it doesn't. Huh. So maybe it's only like 2 blocks then. Interesting. All right, we're going to have to get creative with that. That was just my my test stack anyways, so we won't worry about those leaves despawning or anything like that. I guess we'll make this tree. Yeah, I feel like that works. That's pretty close to what we have in our other world. And I don't think they're going to despawn. I think I did everything correctly there. Just thinking maybe this one needs to be kind of out a little bit more. I guess it kind of resembles like an evergreen tree, if you will. I'm not exactly sure what the right terminology is for it, but yeah, that definitely works. And as long as they don't despawn, I think we're good, right? All right, so that's the build for the most part. The last thing I want to do is add all the little details underneath. Now, I don't know if I can just place these wherever I want. Oh, sorry. I thought I was holding the mushroom. Okay, we'll add a few mushrooms here and there. Like, I don't think these... Oh. I guess I can. Okay, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. So it goes fence posts underneath, and then you place the block. Nah, even now I'm trolling because that's not where it goes. Okay, it goes like this. This is how you do it. Fence posts underneath, then you place the block, then you take the iron hoe, and you do, well, we need water first. So we'll put the water right next to the tree. And then we're going to do this, and bam, Minecraft veteran. Moonglow is a certified Minecraft veteran. Now that means every time we walk over this, it won't, whatever it's called. Like nothing will happen, even if we jump on it. There we go. All right, that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Minecraft veteran. May 9th, 2025. There you go. So Real Kit Storage, episode 6, May 9th, 2025. And there it is. So I'll show you the inside here. So the lever actually does work as a door handle, but we're not going to be using that. And this is what it looks like inside. Pretty straightforward. I literally just built it so I could just store a lot of extra blocks and stuff. I'm going to keep a lot of the valuables in my other house. But yeah, pretty just standard on the inside. And we're going to look at it from all angles now. So this is what it looks like from the front. The main inspiration was actually some random photo I had on my computer. I don't even know where I got this from, but it looks very different from what I built. But really the only thing that remains as inspiration from what I was using in that picture was this front piece here. But that building that I'm looking at right now, I think I got from the Golden Age subreddit, and that building is like made out of spruce and brick, and it just doesn't really look anything like this building. So this is what it looks like from the side. Cool little wall design. And then we got this garden right here, just a nice little area to add some foliage, of course, using the fence posts trick so that when mobs and monsters are running through here, they don't trample the crops. I've never actually seen it from over in this direction, so this will be my first time with you guys as well. I don't actually go over here all that much. So this is what it looks like from the back side there. Kind of similar theme you can see with the sandstone and the wood. I mean, there's only so many blocks we can choose from, right? So you can see it's actually got quite a nice view over here. So the one thing is the brown does kind of get drowned out by this tower here, but I think there's going to be just lots of things like littered around here. Lots of different builds that are going to tie this in all together. So keep in mind that, you know, those won't be the only two builds there. There's going to be lots and lots of things around here. So as we head up over here, there you go. I think this is probably the best view of the build. You kind of get a sense of exactly, you know, what the shape of it is and stuff. And so this is my favorite. That was a huge stutter. So yeah, that is the build for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, before I sign off here, I just want to highly encourage you guys to leave a comment, even though this is a series where I take your guys' comments and turn them into builds, so your guys' suggestions. Even if you don't have a build suggestion, just be sure to leave a comment. Let me know that you're watching the videos. It makes it much easier to continue doing this if I know people are actually engaged in the videos and are liking what I'm doing. So it's a big help if you leave a like or a comment. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking along with me today, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. See you later.